You are now watching The Lone Blown. Blown! Yo, what's poppin' YouTube? Welcome back to The Lone Blown. I'm Zach Lesage, and today we're going to be going over a video that focuses Poison Eternatus. So the deck that we're using in this video focuses on Eternatus VMAX mixed with Toxicroak to do some extra damage with the special condition of Poison. This is Henrique Jorge's list that they used to win the E&D's tournament recently. And I think it's a pretty cool concept of the list, and I don't necessarily know if we've featured this particular variant on the channel before, so I'm super stoked to bring it to you today. One quick thing before we dive into this deck list: if you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that right now. We totally appreciate y'all watching the channel. I know a lot of you have been watching. I totally appreciate all the support. We're on our road to 1,000 subscribers at the time of this video, so I really hope that we can get there really soon. Also, if you're missing any of the cards for this video or from this deck from this video, you can go to PTCGO plug in code ZLesage5 and save 5% on your next order of PTCGO code cards. You can find the deck list in the description below, so peep that out along with some of my other sponsors there too. Let's jump right into this video. So here we go. Here's the list that we got that Henrique was able to win the tournament with at the E&D's event that happened very recently. I mean, I think they've been doing very well with this deck online. At kind of its base, we got the Eternatus VMAX, which works by having a lot of dark Pokemon in play. And you really just work on having like a lot of dark Pokemon in play, doing a lot of damage with Dread End, but you do max out at 270 damage. Now, other versions of Eternatus run Zigzagoon. This version runs a Poison Engine. So you can get those Poison turns off with Galarian Slowbro V. So if it's an active spot, you can make your opponent's active Pokemon poisons. You can get out of the active spot with Dark City, Hiding Dark Energy, or even just Switch. And then you have Toxicroak to do 2 extra damage for each Toxicroak you have during Pokemon checkup, so in between turns. Beyond that, you got a lot of extra basic Pokemon from the Croagunks that are in the deck. You got Crobats to draw some cards. Eternatus V can use Power Accelerated to accelerate energy into play and get some chip damage. Big attacker, doing some poison damage. And even Hoopa, I like the inclusion of Hoopa in this deck because you could use Assault Gate with the Galarian Slowbro and the Toxicroak to do a lot more damage than normal, which turns us into a very strong single prize card attacker. You don't need too many single prize card attackers in this variant of the deck because you can get past a lot of the pesky things like Lucario Melmetal decks. You can get around Decigoons, just things that would naturally stop VMAX Pokemon, VV Max Pokemon, GX Pokemon, just through doing special conditions. We do have a pretty solid base of Great Ball, Quick Ball, and Pokemon Communication, because in most cases we're just searching for Pokemon or Crobat, which is a Pokemon, but it can allow us to draw some cards. Switch is incredibly important in the format after Pikachu and Zekrom GX has done so well recently. On top of, you need to get that Galarian Slowbro V out of the active spots. Dark City, again, remember it is only for basic Pokemon, so you can't send up your Toxicroak, you can't send up your Eternatus V Max and expect to have the free retreat there. But this is able to get the Galarian Slowbro V out of the active spots. Bosss Orders to bring up, get those big knockouts when we want them. 3 copies of Marnie because we could search most of our cards with Crobat V. We got Professors Research because every single deck in format basically runs 4 copies. 2 copies of Capture Energy to get some of those Pokemon like the Croagunks, or maybe you just even need a Galarian Slowbro on your bench. Hiding Dark allows your dark Pokemon attached to it to get 0 retreat cost. All Pokemon are dark, and this is not basic Pokemon, so it is a little bit different than the Dark City. And then there is the Dark Energies here to just kind of have a well-rounded mix. So again, if you're missing out any of the cards for this deck, check out the list below. You can go to PTCGO plug in code ZLesage5, save some money off your next order of codes. I mean, I think this deck is very good. The general strategy that we're just trying to do is attach 2 energies to Eternatus VMAX, and if we need to do some extra damage, we can use Poison with Galarian Slowbro V and Toxicroak. If you're new to the game, I think this is a really good deck for you to pick up. It should be a little bit cheap, especially with the Eternatus VMAX boxes coming out, or already coming out, and we have the Crobat V box coming out in the future at the time of the creation of this video. So I mean, I don't think this is the most expensive deck to put together in general. Obviously, for Crobats, it's going to be a little bit of a pretty penny, but I mean, you could pick up a lot of the promo cards for this deck. As you can see, these are all promo copies. and it might make it a little bit easier for you to pick up this deck, especially if you're into Eternatus VMAX. Super solid deck. I think this is definitely tournament ready. I would have no problem playing this at any online tournament at all. So yeah, maybe you'll see me play Eternatus in the future. Let's jump into some gameplay of this deck. Okay, so our opponent here is calling the coin flip. Preferably, I think we want to go first with our deck so we can attach an energy to our Eternatus, and then next turn we can start attacking with Eternatus VMAX. So with double evolution Pokemon, I think it makes most sense for us to go first. We did win the coin flip, so we're gonna go ahead with that. It's actually a really good hand. So we're going to start with the Galarian Slowbro V because we could always poison our opponent's active Pokemon. And there's no point of us putting anything else in the active spots. Our opponent just starting there with a Dedenne. I actually really like the fact that we're able to get off this. Give our opponent the friendly hello. First card we want to grab is Eternatus V every single time. So we're going to go Eternatus V, check through to see what's in here. Got Eternatus VMAXs, we got retreating cards. Got a couple Switch prized, but nothing too crazy here. So we're going to grab an Eternatus V. Next card that we're going to grab, I'm just probably going to pitch away the Bosss Orders, is going to be a Croagunk. So we get to start getting our poison built up. So we have all this. We're going to attach the energy to our Eternatus V because we want to get 2 energies for Eternatus VMAX next turn. And you almost want to use Crobat every single turn of the game. I'm going to put another Eternatus V down here in case our opponent does anything funny. And we're going to go ahead and poison. There's no reason not to do any poison damage. I'm sure there's some cases where doing special conditions, putting damage counters on Pokemon might not be as good. Double check when you're playing against things like Fire Toolbox for outrage damage and stuff like that. Let's go ahead here and pass. So our opponent took 10 damage. Next turn, we're basically ready to rock and roll, doing a lot of damage. Our hand's pretty self-explanatory. Evolve into an Eternatus VMAX, attach a Dark Energy. I honestly don't know what our opponent's going to do here. But that's okay. Usually when they go Air Balloon, they're about to play a supporter of some sorts. It's usually better to play the Quick Ball first, so you can actually see what's in your deck before attaching the Air Balloon. It gives you more options, but that's okay. We're not here to critique our opponent's play, just here to help improve your play at the channel. And again, I totally appreciate everyone who's watching the channel up until this point. I mean, it's one of those things where it's a grind. Playing against Pikarom, some people say it's a slightly favorable matchup. I think it's pretty even. Depending if our opponent plays Hammers or not. I mean, most lists are heavily based off my Players' Cup 2 winning deck. So I wouldn't be surprised. But the fact that our opponent played Blizzard Town makes me think that there's something else. So they do have Crushing Hammers. You can see that now our plans of Eternatus VMAX completely crumble. One thing about this deck is you don't really have many acceleration options beyond Power Accelerator. And even that's kind of a bit of a meh. So just getting that set up can be a little bit difficult, but it's okay. We lost some energy. Let's just see what our turn can really do. Our opponent needs to get a Pokemon down in general. So we'll see. Oh, they can get a Pokemon out. Just to really electrify to, because obviously they don't want to electrify to a Dedenne. But they're going to go for a Crobat because obviously their hand's a little bit dead after that. So let's see if our opponent's able to find another Pokemon. I mean, they've gone through 2 Quick Balls this turn. For the sake of us, I really hope that they do not find a Pokemon, because that will make the matchup significantly easier. But here they're using Electromagnetic Radar. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Pikarom or a Raichu or both come out of here. There's the Pikarom. It's probably going to get dropped. Oh. Maybe our opponent's playing the Mewtwo variant of this deck. Yeah. So a couple copies of Mewtwo. Probably just going to retreat and electrify over to the Mewtwo. Not a big deal for us. That's actually fine. We do 270 damage max with Eternatus VMAX. So we're just going to vibe out here. No harm, no foul, right? I'm actually just going to go ahead with Rapid Fire Poison here. I'm going to switch. I don't see there being any reason not to switch into an Eternatus V, because at least we could do some extra damage. We can get off the Eternatus VMAX here. And if we get another Dark Energy, we could just get a second energy in play, causing our opponents to need an extra copy. We did get some Croagunks, which I'm pretty happy about. And I am going to pop their Chaotic Swell, because we actually don't have any way to get around the Chaotic Swell, just beyond playing our supporters. I do want to keep that copy of Switch, so I'm just going to go Power Accelerator right over to the Eternatus VMAX. So, I mean, this again, beyond our opponent taking away a Crushing Hammer, taking away an energy, I think that was a really good turn for us, just to kind of rebound. And the more heads that they get in this matchup, the more difficult the matchup is, obviously. So, I mean, I don't know where our opponent really wants to take away from. Here, yeah, taking away from the VMAX makes a lot of sense. It might be a bit difficult. And they have the Team Yell Grunts. I mean, this is, again, not really the most particular great thing. Like, you can see that our opponent's just, like, kind of taking over everything that we're trying to do every single turn. I don't know where they're going to full blitz to. Oh, they're going all in there. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna go Capture Energy here. I really don't want to do too much else. We just need extra energies in play. So I'm going to go ahead and go for Power Accelerator. Attaching the energy there. We really just need to hope that our opponent's not able to take away that energy again. The fact that they got 2 Crushing Hammer heads and played a Team Yell Grunts. Now, I mean, they could play Eldegoss and take away another energy. That might be difficult. But if we're able to knock out this Mewtwo and Mew GX this upcoming turn, I feel pretty okay about our chances still. I really hope that they just go for like a full blitz. I'm not sure entirely why they're going in with the 5 energies on the Mewtwo. Unless, of course, they're trying to attack with Raichu, Alolan Raichu. Maybe they forgot that Tag Bolt GX. Maybe they're going to play an energy switch. There's an Air Balloon. I really hope this isn't an Eldegoss. I mean, here we are. Our opponent's really putting us in a tough position. Eldegoss is just going to be for a Team Yell Grunt, I think. If they just keep on juggling our energies, this is what Pikarom can do in this matchup. So this is technically going the same thing as going 4 for 4 on Crushing Hammers. Oh, really? I don't know why they did it like that. And they also had the energy switch. If they don't find a way to take off the energy for this Eternatus VMAX, they might be in a really tough position. Especially if we're able to find out Boss's Orders. To me, this seems like it was a kind of a risky play by our opponent. But we'll go ahead here and send this up, since we're probably going to have to switch anyways, or discard our switch. I mean, that's actually really awkward for us. Drawing the Crobat was really bad. Okay, so let's go ahead here and... I mean, I guess it's fine. I'm going to go Rapid Fire Poison. I'm going to switch into the Eternatus VMAX. And I'm going to go for Crobat. We were looking for an energy and a boss. Okay, so we didn't find an energy and a boss, which is going to be a little bit tough to deal with. But that's okay. Let's actually just put on a Hiding Dark Energy here, I guess. Yeah, we'll save the other energies for Power Accelerator if that ever matters. And I'm going to leave room for a Crobat. We don't need the energies to really take the knockout. So I'm going to go ahead here and go Marnie, because our opponent has a pretty big hand. Our hand's not too spectacular. And they do have a Crobat in play, so I don't want to put the Dark City there. I feel just pretty good about going for the knockout. If they don't have a Boss's Orders, I mean, I guess they can't win the game anyways, because Crobats have 170. I'm just trying to think about Tag Bolt plays. It depends on what our opponent decides to do this turn. Like, if they can get a couple Crushing Hammer heads, they could really hurt us. Yeah, this game is just going really downhill quickly with those Crushing Hammers. The fact that our opponents got every single Crushing Hammer's heads, I think, except maybe one, Maybe they got all 4. It's been really unlucky for us this game. I mean, good for our opponent, right? I think all they can go is in for the Tag Bolt GX. Maybe knocking out the Toxicroak on the bench. Also completely fine with the Marnie there. We're trying to find an energy anyways. So our opponent gave us the energy. Not really much else that we could do. Okay, so they're gonna knock out the Toxicroak. That's cool. Really, we just need to hope that we don't lose the game this upcoming turn. I think we just attach our Capture Energy. We grab out another Pokemon. In terms of another Pokemon, I think I'm fine with an Eternatus V. And then we just have to hope that our opponent does not have a win condition. So we'll just go Dread Ends, knock them out. We're down to 1 prize card. Our opponent's played all their Crushing Hammers. So they could like Bosss Stall or something like that. But unless they get out a Tapu Koko Prism Star here with an energy and an energy switch, we probably win. I mean, if they just have everything, there's nothing that we could do. We played absolutely perfectly this game. Maybe that's for a Dedenne? I don't know what they just grabbed there. Okay. They don't have it currently. They've gone through a lot of resources as well. Did they really find that? They found the energy switch off the Marnie. Crazy. I mean, our opponent does have a pretty low deck. So, I mean, if they had it in their deck and they knew, they know. But, the fact that they're deciding on what to do here, they're either elongating the game because it's fun to them, or they don't have it. Oh, maybe they're just reset stamping me into nothing. Oh? I can't believe we actually did this. So we can't get the knockout because we can only do 240, but we can hit here. Our opponent's probably like, what? But us getting the Bosss Orders to win the game is crazy. We will take that every single time. Okay, so we're going to call the coin flip here. I mean, I think us winning the flip, we just want to go first again. It's weird because most decks want to go second, so it makes me feel weird just saying that. But I mean, I'm completely fine with it right now. This is actually a great start for our deck. We're going to start with the Galarian Slowbro. That's usually a very ideal start for us. And I'm just going to wait to see what our opponent does with their hands. I think I'm probably going to save the Pokemon Communication for a Crobat kind of play. Is this a Luke Metal deck? It looks like it's a Luke Metal deck. If it's Luke Metal, we probably want to find a lot of outs here just to getting out our Toxicroaks. It's weird. Jirachi's in the deck. I can't even tell. Let's go ahead here and go Great Ball first before we do anything. Missing that's a sin. That was terrible. Let's grab out another one of these Pokemon. Let's get out one of our Croagunks here. Actually, kind of really like this, but I'm just going to take care of the Toxicroak there because that doesn't really matter too much. We'll grab a Crobat. You almost want to use Crobat every single turn because you can only use Dark Asset once per turn. Dark City seems weird to play down. Like, I think we have a lot of resources here. I'd rather just hold on to it. In case, like, if our opponent plays a chaotic spell, there's nothing here that does any good about it. So I'm just going to pass here and hope for the best. Now, one thing we do know, since our opponent did mulligan, that they do have they do have Crushing Hammers, which is really awkward for us to deal with. Crushing Hammers is just tough in general. And if they get a heads here, like, we're just behind a turn again. So as we saw last game, Crushing Hammers really controlled a large portion of it. There's a head, so our first turn's just completely gone. I don't know what our opponent's playing. It looks like some kind of Turbo Zacian deck. Maybe it's a Luke Metal deck. Maybe it's an ADP deck. There's a lot of things that our opponent's deck could be right now. Yeah, there's a Zamazenta V. I have no clue what kind of deck they're playing, but it's some kind of combination of something. We need to focus on Pokemon that we can actually attack. They've put down a lot of Pokemon there, so... let's put this... I don't know if that necessarily even matters. Let's put a Crobat away in case we need to get a Toxic or a Research out here. I am going to go for the Eternatus VMAX so we can expand our bench. Evolve so we can have a few more things going on our way. And let's use Crobat to draw some cards. Let's go Great Ball, get out another one of these Croagunks because Croagunk seems pretty important. Now we could go ahead here and go Marnie. I don't know exactly how I feel about that. I mean, it does preserve our resources. If we don't have an energy, it seems really bad. At the same time, I don't want to give up an Eternatus V. So let's just go ahead and play Marnie. Let's play this slow and safe game. Oh, and we can't even get the knockout there. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a knockout here. I mean, I feel like this is definitely the correct play. Just going Power Accelerator. They're going to get knocked out in between turns. We can get an extra energy in play. And if our opponent doesn't get a knockout on the Zacian V, or with their Zacian V, then we're just up in energy. They already got a heads for Crushing Hammer, so I mean, odds are slightly in our favor. Our opponent playing extremely well sending up their Crobat V. A lot of players don't realize that the Crobat V has the free retreat. Our opponent leaving themselves open with many options here. Still, again, not too sure what kind of deck our opponent's really playing here, but they didn't steal our energy. So, I mean, we got a lot of... that was really good for us. We're going to start off by sending up the Galarian Slowbro V because we got the whole free retreat. So this is how the Poison Eternatus combo truly works out. We're going to go Great Ball first just to thin out of our deck. There's that Toxicroak. Okay, so we can see we're doing an extra 5 damage. We're doing 2 more damage, 2 more damage, so that's 4. So that's an extra 50. So we only need to do 220 damage in order to take the knockout here. So I think we're in great shape to do that. Let's put this down. We need to find an energy to take the whole knockout here. So we are going to be able to take the energy, the knockouts with the Eternatus VMAX. So our opponent's already poisons. I think we just kind of retreat here. I don't really see too much more stuff that we'd really want to do. Maybe we want to get another Toxicroak or another Croagunk out. We do have another Toxicroak. Just a poison that Zamazenta. We've already used 3 Crobats, so I feel pretty okay with what we got going on here. And let's just take this big knockout from our opponent. Our opponent has not too much going on in play. Seems like it's been a really good turn for us. And if our opponent benches anything else, they're in a really poor situation. So we can knock out their Crobat V. The only issue is we got to watch out for this Pokemon because it prevents all damage by attacks by your opponent's VMAX Pokemon. So we do need to watch out for that. But the fact that our opponent's overbenched here means that we can knock out a Crobat, we can knock out a DAA, we can knock out a Zacian V. When you're playing a matchup like this, you really want to kind of hide behind these shield Pokemon. And it's really one of those things where our opponent overbenched here. So we should just be able to kind of skate around this game with Bosss Orders. It's pretty easy to be like, there's 1, 2, 3. The fact that there's even a Jirachi in play makes our prize cards even easier. Just because our opponent's really just trying to expedite an energy. To me, I just don't think it's even worth it. We're just going to get set up and build up another attacker. and then we're just going to be good. In this matchup, we can even attack with Toxicroak as well, so that seems all good if you ask me. We have a lot of options to attack with in this matchup. That part helps us a lot. Whew. Getting past those crushing hammers like nothing else. So yeah, our opponent's playing some kind of weird like hybrid-ish deck, but I'm totally cool with it. Just a 130. So let's go ahead, since our opponent is playing these, playing something that can discard special energies. Let's go ahead and attach normal energies here to this one. I will just draw some prize cards in general. So let's knock out something like the Zacian V so that they can't draw cards. I think that sounds incredibly important here. So we will knock that out. I don't see any reason to do anything else. I mean, you can't really even do anything else because you can only poison when you got the Galarian Slowbro in the active. So we're just trying to eat around their bench Pokemon. Switch is huge there. I'll definitely take the Switch. We'll definitely take the Bosss Orders. If our opponent does not reset Stampus or Marnie, we currently have win in hands. But they got the Jirachi. I don't know entirely what they're going to go all in there for. I think it would have been better to retreat and then switch. But I'm not entirely sure what's going to go on here. If they get that Jirachi stuck in the active position, they just lose the game. Okay, there's their Scoop Up Nets. Oh, and they're just going Research. So now we know that our opponent cannot Marnie. I don't know if their deck plays Reset Stamp. Oh. Interesting. They've already used 2 Metal Saucers. If they have their last Metal Saucer, they can actually get a knockout here. If not, we just win the game. So yeah, we're just going to steal the game from them. Bring it right up here, and we did not even have to focus on any of their other Pokemon, like the Zamazenta. So let's just go ahead here. Dread End, we win the game. Pretty easy. It would have been a little bit more difficult if our opponent played around by not benching other Pokemon, but obviously they had a different plan there. So that's what we got today, peeps. I mean, you saw Poison Eternatus was able to kind of overcome everything that came at it. I know we played against Pikarom, we played against a Zacian deck. I mean, kind of popular concepts in this format. Maybe Poison Eternatus is where it's at. A lot of players say it's a little bit inconsistent. To me, I felt like the deck set up completely fine. It just struggles a bit against Energy Denial, Crushing Hammer, Team Yell. But it's one of those things, I mean, I think it's a pretty cool deck. Maybe give it a try out. Again, the list is in the description. Got the copy for the code card, discount at PTCGO.com. You can use code ZELASAGE5. Subscribe to the channel for more good stuff. And I mean, be sure to give this video a like, thumbs up. Totally appreciate all y'all watching up until this point. I'm going to have a bunch of cool content on the channel this week, so stay tuned for that. But I mean, I really appreciate everyone watching. Thanks so much, and have yourself a wonderful day. Peace out. Really hope that you enjoyed watching that video. I totally enjoyed making it. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like the video, share the video with everyone that you know, and subscribe to the channel as well. Totally appreciate all the support. We got a lot of cool things happening on the channel, so stay tuned for more. Be sure to check out the social links in the description. Thanks, and have yourself a great one.